Welcome to the New England Motocross Show, brought to you by Snow Pro Trailers, presented by Factory Connection and Planet Fitness. I am Travis Stewart, and this is Keith Johnson.
I am Keith Johnson. We're here at the Marshfield Fair. We just got finished up. Everyone's leaving. We had some good racing tonight. We're going to tell you all about it.
All right, cool. Stay tuned. This is the New England Motocross Show. Welcome back to the New England Motocross Show, brought to you by Snow Pro Trailers, presented by Factory Connection and Planet Fitness. Keith, we had some awesome racing tonight. You got to partake in a little bit of it until injury took you out. Tell me a little bit about this race in general.
Well, it's, my cousin Dana's put this race on for, I don't even know, I think it's 8 or 9 years now. It gets bigger and bigger every year. You know, you guys might be able to see the fair behind us. Got a lot of rides for the kids, and, it is what it is. It's a little area here, but it's fun. The kids come out and have a good time, and, the experts come out and bang each other around and get in fist fights, and, we have a good time. I hurt my leg today and didn't get to ride, but it was, we had some good racing, though.
It was very good racing. Let's get right into that action. Here is the Marshfield Fair. Everything got started off before the sun went down with day qualifiers. Top 6 qualify from each heat, plus 4 from the LCQ to make up the 16 racers that start in the main event. The first big class off the line was the 250B class, and out of the hole it was Dan Leclerc on the number 70 Honda, grabbing an early lead and trying to get away from Stoddard and Kirk. Stoddard would overwork it and go headfirst into the dirt after tagging a hay bale. This left Kirk with some breathing room to go after Jonesy. Stoddard would make a great comeback in this one to get back to 4th. Dan Leclerc would work his way around the track in first and take the win heading into the main event. In the second qualifier was the 821 of Andrew Reel, grabbing an early lead and trying to put some space between him and Rummel. Everything would switch around on the second trip through the whoops when Reel would drop his front tire and sample the Marshfield dirt. Now Rummel would have an open door to walk away from Blount and Hurd. The 424 and the 871 would begin a battle that would last quite a few laps and result in a collision that would take both riders out. Rummel easily took the win. In the 125B class, Stoddard got another great start, and this time worked to maintain that lead. He began a charge away from the pack that would not cease in this moto. Division 2, it was to no one's surprise that Rummel had yet another good start, but this time he would have to deal with Leclerc. Dan was backed by Slattery and Gilmore as they went into lap 2. It was consistent riding that kept Rummel ahead of the number 70 of Leclerc for the entire race. This one would have to be settled in the main event. In the Open B, it looked like Slattery and Gilmore would get their shot at walking away with this one when Stoddard got bucked off the saddle early in the whoops. But out of nowhere, Slattery was down on the big triple and Gilmore piled into him. Now it was Leclerc leading the way, followed by Kirk. This is how they would finish, despite a few sketchy passes through the whoops. Brett Hurd made his way up, but would knock himself out before the finish. In Division 2 was again Rummel out with the early lead. Behind him was the 871 who fell back early, unable to handle the sprint that Rummel was able to hammer out.
And number 50 is John Garrett.
Making an appearance in the top 3 was the number 50 of Sean Jarrett. The number 87 made a hard charge throughout the moto, going from 7th to 2nd to make it into the main with a great gate pick.
He makes a stick. He works his way up from 7th to 2nd.
Next up were the big boys trying to qualify for the big show. Out early in the 125 Pro class, it was Billy Ainsworth, but on the hunt early was Jake Morrison. But before he got to Billy, he had to get through the 711 of Ronnie Goodwin. He would make short work of that, but the next target would not be so easy to take down. Billy was on fire through the rhythm sections, but not gaining any real estate. Soon, Morrison would find a little extra steam through the whoops and make the pass for the lead. Goodwin was next to line up for a shot at Billy, but ran out of time. Hype is always fun, and this year the number 3 of James Dakotas was surrounded with hype, and with good reason, as he pulled the hole shot and began to lead in Division 2 of the 125 Pro. He was able to put plenty of time between him and Wisniewski for the win, but the battle in this one was between a few Hondas looking to qualify. Barnaby would get away from the pack and secure his spot in the main. sun finally went down for the 250 Pro Division 1 qualifier, and Morrison looked comfortable under the lights. Goodwin and Labonte were close on his heels getting into the second lap. It wasn't long before Ainsworth cracked into the top three and applied plenty of pressure to the leaders. Ainsworth made a smooth move to get alongside of Goodwin, but with a slip up, the battle was on. Billy was able to capture second and now was in position to go after Morrison. And just like that, Morrison was on the ground. Ainsworth inherited the lead. Morrison was now in a spot that would land him in a last chance qualifier. All of a sudden, Labonte went down, and Morrison only needed 2 more spots. He went after Francis and Klickstein immediately. On the last lap, he made contact with Klickstein and put him into Francis. Keith would hit the dirt, and Morrison secured a spot on the main gate. In Division 2, it was Dakotas leading what looked like a complete disaster and behind him. Boothroyd and DeWolf were both on his tail and stalking him into the next lap. Out of nowhere came the 18 of Wisniewski, who blitzed his way into third and began the attack on Boothroyd. On the next lap, Dakotas would go down, leaving the door open for a win. Chris would get into the lead fast, and Dakotas would have to settle for fourth. If you wanted to make buying a motorcycle just a little easier and a lot more fun, come on in to the largest showroom in Central Maine and see just how easy we make buying. Our knowledgeable sales team will guide you to your new or pre-owned powersport equipment, and financing is made easy. We have the largest accessory and apparel department in the state, servicing all brands, making Central Maine Powersports the only name you need to know. Stop by today for the best selection and save. Unbelievable inventory, making buying easy. Honda, Yamaha, and Polaris. Central Maine Powersports, whatever it takes. All right, let's take a look at some more footage from the Marshfield Fair Supercross. The finals got kicked off with the 125B main event. Rummel came out of the hole ready to attack and did so early. Leclerc and Stoddard started a first lap battle that would result in Stoddard off the track and Jonesy sitting in second. The second run through the whoops was a bad one for Stoddard, when he got yet another taste of the great soil Dana Johnson had trucked in. Leclerc was running strong in second, trying to gain momentum on Rummel when he went down as well. Now it was Slattery and Gilmore ready for battle for the second position. Slattery found the speed he needed to get around Gilmore and finished up in second. Rummel easily took the win.
Anyone that you want to thank tonight? Any sponsors that you got?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, my brother. Couldn't do it without them. EBS, Decal Works, and anybody else I forgot. Thanks.
In the 250B main event, it looked like Rummel had some competition on his hands when Leclerc and Green pulled alongside in the whoops. Leclerc was out early, and now Rummel had yet another opening for an easy win. Rummel would check out yet again, and Kirk would get into second. Leclerc would begin his comeback when he would go down in the whoops and take a quick power nap under a bike. Rummel would walk away again, with Kirk in second and Stoddard sitting in third. In the Open B class, it was Leclerc getting himself a hole shot and some lead laps under his belt. Kirk was up there yet again, and this time Rummel was buried in the pack. Leclerc was on the move, and the 80 was under attack by the 871. The story in this race was the comeback that Rummel would put on, coming from out of the top 10. At one time, he would pass 3 riders in the whoops, and on the next lap would pass for second and set his sights on Leclerc. Leclerc and Rummel would go side by side on the last lap, and both would push for the win. Leclerc would make a move to block past Rummel, but it would end in Rummel taking the win.
We have an open amateur class, but also
got back up, battled on with Dan LeClaire, finally passed him on the last lap, and that was it.
All the money was in the last two races. In the 125A Pro Moto, Morrison got out early, and Dakotas was right there with blood in his eyes. They bumped their way through the first lap, with Morrison getting momentum through the whoops and taking over first. Dakotas would welcome himself back to the lead, but take an inside line and lose momentum, and again Morrison was in the number one spot. This one would go quite a few laps, with Jimmy in second and Ainsworth in third, looking for a way to get into the top spot. Billy would pull alongside Jimmy and take over second, but by this time Morrison was gone and had plenty of breathing room. Jimmy would get close again, but he wouldn't be able to make a move until Billy made a mistake in the whoops, and temporarily gave up second. After a few bar-banging turns, Ainsworth was back in second and held it for the remainder of the race. Morrison grabbed himself his first main event win on the night.
Billy Ainsworth put on a fierce track run. That was awesome.
You put on a great race, whole shot, all the way out, man. That was great.
The 250 Pro main event was going to be a race to see who would be able to take down the 261 of Morrison. The fight looked pretty dismal as Jake took the early lead through the whoops and began his march toward another win. Wisniewski was first to line up to take down the 261. Ainsworth was sitting in third and tried his shot at the title in the whoops, but it would result with him on the ground and less competition for Jake. Dakotas was going to try to get into position, but he would stall his bike out of the whoops and give Morrison that much more breathing room. Wozniewski was fast, but unable to close in on the lead that Morrison had opened up. Morrison would take the win in both classes on Wednesday night.
Racing is awesome, man. I had a great time tonight. Me and Jimmy D, the first moto, had a really fun moto. First couple laps, banging bars, and I had a good time riding with him. I just have fun coming out here every year, and it's a great event. Make a little money.
From the production line to the starting line, Snow Pro Trailers is the industry leader in quality, strength, and versatility. Rest assured that when race day rolls around, you'll be transporting your bikes, sleds, race cars, and ATVs with a proven winner. So make it a Snow Pro atop the trailer podium since 1996. We're back on the New England Motocross Show, brought to you by Snow Pro Trailers, presented by Factory Connection and Planet Fitness. Keith, we wrap it up here tonight, but in just 2 weeks, it's the Winchester Regional. You know, who do you think is going to be a big name? We know Barsha's up here for the A-Class, but who do you think is going to be the dominant factor going into that race?
Barsha, no doubt about it. You know, the kid's phenomenal. You know, I watched him race in Loretta's a few weeks ago now, and, you know, he's the real deal. He's the next Carmichael, Stewart, Villapoto, whatever. You know, that kid is just phenomenal.
Well, Barsha, for the lights class, let's talk a little bit about the defending champion himself, Keith Johnson, coming into the big bike class. How do you think that's going to go?
Yeah, you know, I feel good on the big bike. You know, I always struggle on the little bike. I'm a little big for it, but you know, I heard Dowd's going to ride a 250 two-stroke cheater, but whatever, John, cheater. But, you know, it'll be good racing. I can't wait. It's a great, fun weekend. The kids have fun, 3-day weekend. We hang out and have some fun.
Sounds good. We are going to have major coverage from that race, both on television and on our website, NEMXS.com. You can go there for more information on that race and also some more information on our sponsors. Got to thank Snow Pro Trailers, Factory Connection, and Planet Fitness for helping us out. Also, special thanks to our human tripod, Danny Stewart. This is Travis Stewart and Keith Johnson. Thanks for watching.
Later, guys.